A federal district court in Texas has ruled that President Trump violated the law when he declared a national emergency over the border wall. Pete Williams is in Washington now. And Pete, can you run us through this ruling? What was illegal about it?
Right. So what the judge is ruling on here is the money that the government wants to spend, not so much whether the president was legally authorized to declare a national emergency. Instead, what the judge rules is that the government, in this case the Trump administration, didn't have the legal authority to take money to use for the border wall, with one little exception. But let's go back here. Remember that in January, the president said he wanted something like $6 billion, $5.7 billion for border wall construction. Congress gave him only roughly $1.4 billion. So he said, OK, I'm going to get money from elsewhere in the government, from the Defense Department and the Department of Homeland Security, money that would have been used, for example, for military construction projects. Well, the judge says that violates a part of the budget that was passed by Congress, which says this: none of the funds made available in this appropriation may be used to increase, eliminate, or reduce funding for a program, project, or activity as proposed in the president's budget request. So he says that language blocks the administration from what it is now doing, using Pentagon money to build the border wall. Now, the judge makes one little exception here for $2.5 billion that the government is spending that would have been used for Pentagon Defense Department counter-drug activity. The Supreme Court has already addressed that, so the judge says, I'm not going there.
Okay.
But he says what the government wants to do, what the Trump administration wants to do with the rest of the money, they can't. But he hasn't stopped the government from doing it yet. What he says is, I'm going to give both sides in this case, the two parties, rather, who filed this lawsuit, El Paso County and a group called the Border Network for Human Rights, I'm going to give them 10 days to propose an injunction. In other words, he says to the people that sued, you win, now you tell me what you want to do.
So, Pete, what do we expect them to do? I imagine they will want that money to go back.
They will want to stop the government from any further building of the wall, specifically in El Paso County. Then I'm sure the Trump administration will appeal, and we'll see how this plays out. So I wouldn't expect, certainly in the immediate next several days, nothing in terms of border construction on the southern border is going to stop. We'll have to wait and see how this plays out. But I imagine it'll play out relatively quickly.
Pete, have we heard anything yet from the Trump administration? I know this is relatively breaking news.
Yeah, no, I haven't heard anything from whether they'll appeal. I'd be surprised if they don't. They've fought this litigation very strenuously.
All right, Pete Williams in Washington, thank you very much.
You bet.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here, and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.